Hey y'all, come on in and cook with Gigi. How's everybody doing today? Well, guess what? Today we are going to make homemade buttermilk biscuits. Yes, homemade from scratch. So let's jump right in. Now, making biscuits gets very messy. So I'm just preparing you in advance. If you've ever made biscuits, you know it can go everywhere. But anyhow, this morning we're gonna make homemade biscuits at the request of a few people. So I always say either you know how to make biscuits or you don't know how to make biscuits. So for those that already know, don't critique my method. I'm actually kind of new at making biscuits. I've just learned myself in the last year. So I'm proud of that, and it's a joy when my biscuits turn out good. But before I go any further, let me preheat my oven. Okay, I've preheated my oven to 475. Biscuits do better in a really hot oven. So I bake mine usually for 12 to 15 minutes in about 475. So anyhow, I use White Lily self-rising flour. You can use whatever flour you want. I just use White Lily for my cornmeal and for my flour, but you can use whatever you like. But that's self-rising flour. And of course, I've already sifted my flour this morning. I had to fill my bowl back up. It had gotten empty, so I filled it up and went ahead and sifted it as I put it in there. I've already greased. I don't use this usually for anything except for my biscuits. I've already greased it, and we're gonna take, and I'm gonna try to put it to where you can see it, but I just take and make a little well hole in the middle of my flour. So comment below if you know how to make biscuits, or you've never attempted it, or you would like to learn. So anyhow, there's my well hole. And so I take about two, I guess I'm gonna use the Brenda Gant terminology and do 2 chicken eggs of Crisco and put that right down in the middle of my well. Now, it's kind of hard to measure the buttermilk. I just kind of eyeball that. Maybe on another video I'll measure it, but it's always going to be different because you're always going to grab a little bit more flour or have a little bit less Crisco. But I just start by filling my well hole that I've dug in the middle of my bowl. I just start by taking and filling it up and working. Now this just takes a little time, and like I said, you just work it. Work your grease, your Crisco, lard, whatever you want to call it. You just work it into your buttermilk, and you'll know by the feel of it. If I'm learning anything about making biscuits, it really is just, you got to get a feel for it, and you just kind of know when it feels right. But I take and I just work that Crisco into that buttermilk until I feel like I've got it really mixed in there well. Go ahead and clean this spot off because And I do work directly on my countertop, but I've already scrubbed it, washed it, sanitized it and all that this morning because I knew I'd be making biscuits here. I just feel like I need just a tad bit more. I think one of my little chicken eggs was a little smaller than the other one, so. Or at least that's what I'm gonna tell myself. And once you get this all combined, your oil and your grease and your buttermilk all combined together, then you will take your finger and you'll start to go around your pinky and your pointing finger. You'll just go around and you'll start bringing in some of that flour into your buttermilk and your oil. I keep saying oil, you know, Crisco, all vegetable Crisco. And I just work it. I just keep working it. Pulling a little bit of flour in each time, working it into my mixture. So what are you guys doing today? And by the way, while I'm just working this, let me say thank you to all of my followers. I appreciate it so much. I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude that you even want to follow my page, and hopefully, you know, I'll be able to share some things with you that I've learned along the way, and maybe you'll even teach me some things too. I definitely don't know. Listen, I'm a home cook. Nothing professional about my cooking. I just get in the kitchen and sometimes I just make up recipes and go with the flow. But I have had some requests for a few things that I'm going to try to do in the next little bit. So y'all can stay tuned for upcoming videos. But thank you so very much for those who have followed me and shared and liked, and I appreciate it so much. Oh, I just remembered what I didn't get. Let me put some flour down on my surface. And I will work this sometimes. Even when I lift it out, it may still be a little tacky, a little sticky. We'll just work some more flour into it until we get it right. Don't like to overwork the dough because you don't want any tough biscuits. Grab my biscuit cutter in just a second. Let me get these. I need to worry about flour going down my sink. I have a little catcher on it that catches everything and prevents it from going down, but I know you can't see that. But get my biscuit cutter. I think I like to take and put my little biscuit cutter in my flour. Well, let me pull this over here. You can't really see it back there, can you? Still learning this. Make sure I've got that evened out so all my biscuits will come out the same. My oven is preheated. Like I said, this is a messy job, but somebody's got to do it right. And let me be the one. I know some people roll their biscuits out, but I just like them to be all round. And okay, that one's a little, the dough is a little tacky right there, so. I'll usually have some. Sometimes I'll get a little carried away and I'll have quite a bit of dough left over. That's okay. You don't have to let it go to waste. You can make apple pies out of it, fried pies, whatever kind of pie. And save it. Or what I do is I have another smaller, I have a smaller cast iron, and a lot of times I'll just take it and make another pan of biscuits because I can freeze my biscuits. Matter of fact, I may do that. Give me just a second. I want to show y'all this little cast iron that I have. If I can find it and get my hands on it. There it is. Put a little grease in it. This cast iron pan, see how small it is? It's a little one. It belonged to my daddy. My Aunt Laney gave it to me. And I love cooking in it. Just makes me think of him when I do. And I don't know why he had a cast iron pan, because I surely never knew him to cook. But my Aunt Laney said that it had belonged to my dad, so I cherish it for that reason. So we'll just go ahead. Let me move this bowl. We'll just, sorry if I seem a little scattered this morning. I think the pressure's on when you're making biscuits in front of an audience. Dip that one more time. And I can always freeze biscuits because I use them a lot of times during the holidays, like around Thanksgiving and stuff. I'll go ahead and make some cornbread up and some biscuits because I crumble them up in my dressing. So I don't think homemade biscuits are ever gonna go to waste. So anyhow, there's that pan. And we're gonna pop these in a 475 oven. Get my hands around one more time. Okay, set my timer for 12 minutes. I'll check them in 12 minutes, and they'll probably go a little bit longer than that, but we'll be back. Okay guys, we're back. The biscuits are fresh, hot out of the oven, and we're gonna dig into one and let you see. See that stain coming off of them? See how fluffy? Get a little hot on my hand. There you go. So we're going to open this up, let you see how white and flaky it is on the inside. Gonna spread a little butter. And since I'm a Georgia girl, a little peach jam, since I'm a Georgia peach. I thought that was fitting, but I really do like peach jelly, so peach jam. Okay. As I always say, let me post that up a little bit. There we go, is that better? As I always say, the moment of truth. Y'all. What is better? Seriously, what is better than a homemade butter and jelly biscuit? Nothing. Well, Jesus is better. But this is so good. And don't take my word for it. Just ask my grandbabies. They'll tell you. Well, listen, once again, I appreciate you being here with me. Spending a little time with me in my kitchen. I know you could be doing anything, but you took the time to spend a few minutes of your day with me, and I appreciate that. I don't want to take that for granted. I hope that you'll go make you some biscuits and make your family some biscuits. Treat them with a little love and kindness, and I'm sure it'll go a long way. Well, I'm going to close out this video, but rest assured, I'll be back really soon with another great recipe. I love you guys. See you later. Bye.